Hey guys, in this video I wanted to talk about making the decision to either reduce calories or increase cardio when weight loss has stalled and you are on a diet. And this is a good question because on paper it seems like there's not really one clear answer, because ultimately we need to understand that in order to lose weight, lose body fat, we need to be in a calorie deficit or eating less than our bodies need to maintain our current body weight and body size. So you can basically increase output of the calorie balance equation. So on the calorie balance equation we have energy in, energy out. So basically energy in is just food, energy out is activity. If you lower your food, or you can increase your activity in order to tip the calorie balance equation in the favor of losing weight. So there's really only one correct answer for this, and it has to be done on a case-by-case basis, but you need to choose which adjustment is less fatiguing. What do I mean by that? I mean that if you are on super low calories, so let's say, for you, you're finding it very difficult to adhere to it, but your activity isn't super high yet, it's probably a better idea in that case to increase activity as opposed to lowering food, because you're going to be less likely to just adhere to it, which is super important. And then B, you'll probably have a little bit less fatigue generated from that psychologically and physiologically than if you were to lower calories further. On the contrary, if your activity is already super high, let's say you're getting 15,000 steps per day and you're doing cardio 3 times a week for 30 minutes, but maybe in that case it would make more sense not to add in activity, because another big trade-off we need to understand is when you do add in more cardio to a training program or into a fat loss routine, that essentially adds volume onto your legs, especially formal cardio on an elliptical treadmill, and especially the Stairmaster. I don't recommend you do the Stairmaster. It is the worst form of cardio. It is super fatiguing on your legs. Lots of people actually have issues with maintaining muscle mass when they use the stair stepper. And I wouldn't even say it's like low intensity cardio or high intensity cardio. It's more of a medium intensity, which is actually the worst for retaining lean tissue and actually being able to maintain your gains on a diet. So don't do the Stairmaster. But if your activity levels are super high, but your food is in an okay place where you can look at it and be like, okay, it probably makes most sense for me to take food out of my diet. So basically, choose whichever one is less fatiguing. If your activity is low, and you feel like that will, you can add in some activity, some cardio, and that's less fatiguing to you, then lowering food more, or if adding more activity as opposed to lowering food would be a better option for you based off of a needs analysis of what is going to cause me more fatigue / be more difficult for me to sustain / adhere to. Then you choose which one is the least fatiguing out of those. Now, how much to adjust? If you do come to a fat loss plateau, a weight loss plateau, usually I recommend at least 10% added on via activity or lowered through calories. So a simple example with calories, let's say that you're currently doing 3,000 calories per day. You're pretty active. You're deciding I'm going to lower down my food. I recommend lowering down to 2,700 calories. And the reason why I recommend at least a 10% is just because typically we have kind of a maintenance range for our body weight, where we can kind of maintain within this certain range of like, it depends on the person, but it's not like a specific like, oh, if I eat exactly 2,900 calories per day, that is my calorie maintenance. Like, it's not exactly like that. You remember, your body likes to maintain weight. It doesn't like to change. So having ranges, I don't think there's really any science to 100% prove it, but in practice and with clients and with many people do have calorie ranges where their body weight will stay the same. So in order to disrupt homeostasis, so staying the same enough for long-term weight loss to still happen, we need to have a more severe cut in calories. So 10% is what I would recommend for each adjustment in calories down. And then for adding activity, typically about 10%, but so for example, if you're getting 10,000 steps per day, adding an extra 1,000 could be, enough to tip it. But usually it's not as good of a rule with the cardio / activity side. Usually I like to add on to formal cardio instead of steps. So for example, if I'm not doing any sort of cardio, I usually would like to start out clients with about 2 times per week, about 20 minutes, and see what happens then. How much cardio that you add should be done sparingly and whatnot, because it's adding, again, volume onto your legs, which will make it hard for you to recover and lower down the actual amounts of volume that you can do and survive. So basically with the diet, adjust down by 10% in calories, and that should come from either carbs or fat. Protein should stay the exact same. If you are doing cardio, I recommend adding in about 2,000 steps, or adding in 1 extra session, or about 20 minutes onto your plan. So I hope this video was helpful and you guys learned something from it. I know I kind of rambled a little bit, but that's what you should do if you need to make an adjustment down on a diet via food or activity. So hope you guys liked it. If you guys are interested in coaching or programs, click the links down below. Follow me on Instagram, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.